Everybody, welcome back to The Trend. Today's trending topic is going to be Singles Inferno Season 3. We've literally been waiting for this season for so long. I think we checked Netflix and checked the release date at least 3 times because we love Season 1 and 2 so much.
Yeah. To the point that I even went back and skipped through just to see some of my favorite moments, which I've never done with that's a lie. I've done it with Love Island, but the rest of them that I've watched, I would never go back to.
Me searching, where are they now? Which couples are still together? No, it was really good. And so, obviously, Season 3, we're expecting better things. In anticipation of this video, we wanted to ask... there's a lot of discourse between which girls are the most iconic between the seasons, and there's a lot of comparisons. So we wanted to ask who had the best first impression out of Gyuri, Gia, and Seulgi. Because I think that those are the 3, most iconic, comparable characters so far.
Yeah.
So... the results of the poll, somebody won by a landslide.
Which I could have guessed.
Yeah.
By the landslide
you guys could probably guess too.
It was very shocking.
Yeah, so Gia won by 80%. I agree with that. I think she had a really, really good first impression. I think she just had more personality than the other 2.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so Guri got 8% and Seulgi got 12%. I think Gia was the good mix between the both of the girls. So I think she had Guri's quiet confidence, but she was kind of Seulgi Seulgi's quietness, but Guri's confidence. And I saw someone say this online, which I thought was interesting. They said Gia didn't need to compare herself to the other girls to make herself sound confident. She was just saying I'm the belle of the ball, blah blah blah. Whereas Guri kind of had a couple comments here and there, which again I saw people also talking about, how I can't remember her name, sorry, the Smiley girl, when she said, "Oh, you're so pretty," people said they edited out Guri's thank you.
So they edited out Hyson when she said, "You're so pretty" to Gyuri, and Gyuri said, "Thank you." That is so
I think
shady.
People said that, so...
But how do they know? I feel like people just be saying stuff. How do you know what they edited out?
It could have been something she mouthed or something like that. You never know, really.
Okay, true.
And I don't put it past reality shows to try and paint people a certain way.
Yeah.
So that was the results of the old poll. We'll have a new one at the end of the video that you guys can go and vote on again. But now we're going to talk about past seasons, and I do feel it just led me right into what we liked and disliked about the past seasons. Side note, which kind of fits in here. I feel like they're trying to recreate old members a little too hard.
Yeah, I hate when shows do that, and they do that on, Love Island, too. It's so annoying, because it's, it makes the first character less iconic. What are you trying to make, a duplicate of them for? Hyson is not Nadine. She's not Nadine.
Well, it's also Guri is not Seulgi or Gia. But the thing, too, is that, I think it doesn't make I think it makes the first person more iconic, but I think it just does an injustice to the second person. Because then it's they're always going to pale in comparison. You know what I mean?
True.
That makes me look at Haesung and be she's sweet and cute, and the girl's studying science,
but she's not as smart.
She's not. I study at Harvard.
Yeah. What did she say? She's neuroscience. She listen.
Yeah.
Nadine had 100 offs. Yeah. Anyways, out of season 1 and 2, I think what I didn't like about them, they just weren't flavorful enough in the sense that, I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but if you've ever seen an American dating show, they just be, fighting, cursing, pulling their hair. I don't expect that from them. But still, a little more drama. It was they were a little too polite in the first and second seasons. And it's nobody was trying to, I think because they know it's going to be portrayed everywhere, right? So they want to, look good and proper. So they're not trying to start beef. Because they're I don't want to be known as the girl that starts beef. But it's less entertaining.
Yeah, I think for me, I thought season 1 had way more, I liked the confrontation in season 1 way more. I felt they were genuine, sit down, let's have a chat. Like, it was way more sophisticated than Western fighting stuff. But they still did it, even though some of them made me very, very uncomfortable. But I thought season 2 had more animated characters. Like, the people were more iconic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really particularly remember anyone as having, like, a great, like, oh, this person's so different from this person to this, blah, blah, blah. Except Gia, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think season 3 is gonna be, like, the happy medium between both seasons. Like, at least from the previews they were putting in there, I was like, it looks like these people are getting ready to fight. And, you know, go headstrong for what they want. And I do think they have, like, very animated personalities.
Yeah.
Like, they're very different from each other.
I think they must have picked these people on purpose, because even in their intro reels, when they started talking about, like, I think I'm, like, so much better than the rest of these contestants. Like,
all the girls said that except, Minyoung? Minyoung? Sorry.
And, same thing with the guys. Like, the guys were, like, extremely confident. So, I feel like those types of personalities are more likely to, you know, shit stir. But I wouldn't put it past the producers to edit the preview to look really juicy and then it's dry as fuck. Because
That's
that
true.
literally happened to us with a different Korean dating show.
Yeah.
They made it look so fucking juicy, and then we sat through and watched it and I was like, whatever.
Mid.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Based off of all the people we've met so far from episodes 1 to 3, I thought we'd also talk about, like, their very first impressions and what we think of them so far. I think this will be interesting because when we watched seasons 1 and 2, we had, like...
Some predictions.
Yes,
Season 2, we were dead wrong.
We were dead fucking
Yeah.
wrong. We were like, yeah, I think she's a sheep in wolf's clothing. No. we were like, I think she's a wolf in sheep's clothing, blah, blah, blah.
Whole time she's a sheep.
It was Zoe, by the way.
sheep.
If you
girl
watch the
is
season,
the cutest. Yeah.
she was innocent. Like, bless her heart, she was innocent.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, so going through the current characters, what do you think of Yuri? I mean, kind of obvious one, but...
Again, I'm taking everything in terms of, like, unless they outright said with their mouth, like, something about the other girls, which she did say, that's what I'm going off. I'm not going off, because even when, I'm forgetting her name, Hysun said, oh, you're so pretty, I even was like, if I didn't have the subtitles on, I don't even know if I would have heard her.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I was thinking that too, because I was like, there's no way any human being would hear someone say, you're so pretty, and just look away. Also, she didn't even say, you're so pretty. She said, she's so pretty. So it's like, that's like a weird thing to say.
Yeah, it's like, do I acknowledge it? If you're an awkward person, you go, I mean, I might have smiled, but I would have been like...
You give that, like...
And then just face forward, because you don't know if you're allowed to talk.
Yeah, but she's
blah,
like,
blah, blah.
she's proper, so she's not going to give you that, like...
Yeah. The only thing about Gory that I'll say... The switch up was crazy. Like, as soon as she realized this, like, aloof personality was not gonna work for her, and she became this, like, giggly, bubbly, like, person, which I don't blame the girl. You know, she's like...
She felt it out.
Yeah, she's like, oh, this isn't working. These guys aren't vibing with this right now, and I can do the other personality like that. So let me just, you know, pull a quick one on him.
And it worked.
Yeah, she made it to paradise, so...
Yeah. Okay, Hysun. I don't like Hysun.
She's like one of the fan faves.
I'm judging too early, I know, of course. And people are probably going to come at my throats for, like, saying this. By the way, every prediction or comment that I make is probably so wrong. Like, I'll go ahead and admit that. Like, I just be judging people just to judge.
And we'll also fully go back on our word. Like, we're allowed to change our minds with new information. You know what I mean? Like,
I will eat my words. But the vibe she was giving was so, like, I feel like she was never being genuine. Like, all of her actions felt very, like, calculated. Even the way she was eating on camera and being like, mangoes, like, yum. Like, I was like, girl, you're doing
How
the most.
How excited can you be about mangoes?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then, literally, there was, like, this scene of her, I think they were in a pool or something. Oh, they were in the hot tub. And I was like, wow, she seems more genuine here. As soon as she got more genuine, bitch started talking about her strategy. I was like, wow.
Well, not even her strategy, but, like, you could see that Which, again, I don't even blame her because you could see it in Guani's face. Like, he was not vibing with it. Like, it's like as soon as she dropped her tone and kind of was, like, speaking from her head.
Yeah.
It was like, who's this girl all of a sudden? And I feel like I also get the vibe that they really are trying to make her this season's Nadine. And that's already, like, throwing me off because I'm like, I just need to picture her for what she is. Like, I think that them going on the dates too early really threw me off because I feel like if you learn about their careers after, it's like I already have an impression of her that, you know, minus her job, minus her age.
Yeah.
And I just think it was a little too early.
They went way too fucking early to Paradise. Also, the methods in which they made them pick their partners to go to Paradise,
Cool.
Yes, handing someone like an envelope right next to somebody that you just received it from, that is brutal. That was uncalled for. I did not like that. That made me severely uncomfortable. And it's a small group of people too, so it's not even like a big group of people where you're all like throwing letters at each other. It's too personal.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is for 6 people. I did like the anonymity that they had the first 2 seasons of like just a mailbox because I think that gave like the truest picks. But I will say it is very Love Island of them. Like the way they used to have like the contestants line up and then be like, step forward if you want to pair up with this person. And a lot of the times no one would step forward and it's like, ooh, like harsh, you know?
Yeah.
And that's one person at a time being shut down. You know, I couldn't imagine. Like, yeah, the letters was different. Like, letters from person to person was different, but I don't know. I think they went to Paradise so early for 2 reasons. One, I think it's because they're gonna have way more bombshells. I think they're gonna bring in new people faster. And 2, I think they genuinely did not. I think they felt bad for the contestants that didn't make it to Paradise. I think they're trying to give people as many chances to go as they can. Because before it was like,
if you
my girl Sejong from season 2 was done so dirty. That girl was done dirty.
Yeah, I agree. So moving on to Minwoo. I think, okay, we'll talk more about him later, but as a general first impression, he's my type. No. No, he really is, like, I think one of the most attractive contestants. If not the most attractive contestant. And, like, he didn't really do anything that bothered me. He was just, like, he's a good character. He was aight.
Yeah. He, my first impression was, I was like, oh, this is the Asian John Krasinski. This is exactly who he looks like. Stop saying
that! And then stop saying that!
And then as soon as I saw, what's his name, Minkyu? I was like, oh, he looks like this guy and John Krasinski mixed into one person. That's exactly who he looks like. And I swear I will do an AI generator and I will merge their faces and put them here. Because I'm certain that's what he looks like. Yeah, I think he was one of the more social ones, like, when they first sat down.
Yeah, make it less awkward.
Yeah.
Moving on to Jinsuk. A lot of the guys, like, I don't know why they don't make as strong as the first impression. He's really buff, he's really manly. His character was he, like, didn't talk a lot.
Yeah, I always am gonna vibe more with the girls and think they're more, animated, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. He was cool from what I saw. I didn't see any red flags that bad with him.
Yeah. Minyoung?
Love her. Yeah. She's my favorite. I think she was, the most pure. In terms of, like, staying true to herself. I don't think she had any type of personality switch up. I don't think she was playing any type of game. I think she reminds me of, I think Son from season 2. Look at me comparing them after being like, I hate comparisons, blah, blah. I thought she was the most realistic.
Yeah, and she gives, like, girl vibe. The way she was, like, in the other crew when she was like, oh, like, I think this guy would be your type. Like, da-da-da. Like, she was not gatekeeping the men.
Not at all. And I also think she was I think she was the only girl that didn't talk about the other girls. Like, when she came in to introduce herself, she didn't say, like, I'm prettier than these girls. Or, like, I'm not threatened by these girls. Like, yeah. I think so. But, yeah.
Next, we have Gwon-hee. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. This man, sometimes...
The host couldn't even hold back their comments about him. Like, Jinyoung was like,
You know when they say,
he
like,
needs to calm down.
men are sexier when they shut the fuck up? Like, that was the case with him. Like, boy, every time he opened up his mouth, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, something weird was coming out of it.
Something strange.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess you do have to have that type of confidence to go on a show like Singles Inferno. But it was just a bit much. Sometimes.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. He made it very interesting. Yeah, I'm thankful for that. But as a person, I was like, boy, you're doing way too much for someone with, like...
For me, it was his age that was really throwing me off with it.
There was a couple older guys this
season. That's the other thing. Side note. I don't like how all the guys have been in their 30s and all the girls are, like, 26, 25 to 28.
Yeah. Something
Where's
suspicious.
The young guys? Yeah, bring the babies. Not babies, but mid-20s guys.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
No. I think he'll bring the most drama. I think it's going to be surrounding him because he seems hella indecisive.
Yeah, and he said that himself. He was like, I came in last, so I'm going to be the most...
Yeah, but he also said to the Hae-sun, he was like, I'm not going to change. I'm firm on my decision. As soon as he gets into the car with the other girl,
Switch up. Like that.
Yeah.
There was no waiting. There was no, like, let me feel this out.
Nope.
Immediately.
Nope.
Okay, Wannick. Tell me he doesn't look like V. Tell me he doesn't look like V.
He looks like, I can't remember the actor's name that I thought, but he looks cute.
Yeah, he barely said a word. I hope, we get to see more of his personality, but for now I'm just like, he's whatever.
Yeah, he definitely gives me, Jungwoo vibes. Where, like, as soon as he saw, is her name Xian? Xian? Yeah, I think it is. The way he was, like, letting her know, like, you are my type, like, and I'm gonna keep pursuing this, which I think is what made her pick him.
Yeah, I agree.
His intentions were really, like, clear. Habin. This man did not speak. I don't have anything to say about him other than he's not ugly or anything, but I was like,
yeah, he's whatever. Okay, which one is she? Oh.
Yeah, Miss Eyes.
Okay. Hajung, I love her pungent personality. I think her personality is true to herself. I don't think she's playing a character. I think she might be very strategic, but I don't think she's being, like...
Fake.
Yeah.
I think her personality... Like, there's this quote, that Tiffany Pollard did. She's Miss New York from Flava Flav. His reality show where she's like... Bitch, like, I'm, like, she was talking to another girl on the show, and she's like, you're a wolf in sheep's clothing, blah, 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 and she's like, bitch, I'm a fucking wolf, you see me coming.
Bitch, to the heart, but at least I don't smile in all these girls' faces because you fucking are a wolf in sheep's clothing. I'm a fucking wolf, you see me coming.
Like, this is what this girl gives me. Like, you know exactly what she's about. She doesn't hide her expressions. If she wants to say something, she says it.
Yeah.
Like, all the slick comments she was making in the eyes when Xian was like, I love carrots and chicken.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
she's like, do you?
Yeah, really?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That was funny.
And the casting was strategic. I think they definitely picked these two girls on purpose because they knew each other.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because usually dating shows don't like when people know each other.
Yes, but I think because they're two girls, and I think they both kind of give, like, a little kiari.
Yeah.
Type, but yeah.
Okay, Minkyu. He's, like, just as sexy as, I forget his name. Other buff guy who looks kind of like him.
Minwoo or something.
Yeah.
He talks way less than I thought he would, though.
Yeah.
Like, I think he just made it to the date with, Gyuri, and both of them were...
pretty shy.
Yeah.
He talks more with her, but still not a lot. But he's hot as fuck, so... That's whatever. Okay.
Xian.
I think... We're probably butchering these names, by the way.
Yeah. Don't kill us for that. Xian, I think she
gives Zoe.
Well, she gives Zoe, but, like, she's trying more than Zoe.
Like,
she's really trying to have this type of personality. She's trying, but I think underneath it all, she is a Zoe.
Yeah.
You know?
Damn.
No, not in a bad way. I'm saying she's, like, very, like, calm. Like, even when she was talking to Guani and she was saying, like, I'm, like, this, he was shocked.
Yeah.
He was like, oh. And she's like, yeah, like, I communicate clear. This is, like, what I prefer. Blah, blah, blah. I really want to see if the drama is going to be between her and Hajung because they know each other.
True.
I need to know who in that preview that was saying, I don't trust her or whatever. Who was that about?
I know, the preview was so crazy. Okay, so now that we've covered all that, we want to talk about our predictions for the season, which again are probably going to be wrong. Like,
Yeah.
probably 99% chance they're all going to be wrong, but we're going to say them anyways.
Okay, so I think... So, Hajung and Guani have been getting along really well lately, but I think his indecisiveness is gonna, like, drive her to talk to every single guy as a way of punishment. Weirdly enough, I think they're too, like, playful, whatever, but in let's just say, if they're toxic, I think they give toxic couple energy. Where they would both, like, interact with other people knowing damn well they really want each other, but they're just too, like, prideful to stick to it.
Yeah, I think, like, in the short term, that type of energy is okay, but, like, bitch, you get tired of that shit. Like, you'd be like, you play too much, like, enough.
Yeah, because it was just, like, on their date, I just thought they talked about the other contestants a little too much. Because I was thinking, oh, it's normal, you know, to... Even in regular dating, like, you date other people, you kind of know that about your partner, but to sit there and discuss, like, oh, like...
So what'd you think of her?
Yeah, or, like, you still think Minkyu's better than me? Like, or is he more your type? Like, blah, blah. I was like, this is going a little too much into detail for me. So, yeah, I think they'll have, like, a really, like, short, exciting romance going on. I think, in terms of fan favorites, I think Minyoung is going to be the fan fave for the girls, because I genuinely think she is the girl's girl, and she seems the most pure. And I think based off looks, because I'm not going to lie, I do think the males are just a little blander in personality, unless someone new comes. Minkyu. He gives the most stereotypical attractiveness to me.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is that the new characters, like the bombshells, they're always going to attract more because people always want what's new.
Yeah.
You know, I think the new male characters could be butt ugly, uglier than Minkyu, but because he's been there from the beginning, they're gonna be like, oh, I want this, like, new, like, fresh meat over here.
Fresh meat.
You know what I mean? For that reason, I know I mentioned it before, but I do think the bombshells are really gonna shake shit up, because, how I said, I think they have the, like, attitude and arguments of season 1, but the characters of season 2, I think there's not as much, just from the first 3 seasons, or first 3 episodes, don't hold this against me, there doesn't seem to be any loyalty except for Minyoung. Like how she was like, oh, you like this type of guy, there's one at this island here for you, blah blah blah. Whereas the other girls, and same with the guys, seem very, like, they're very tunnel vision. They're not looking at the other contestants around them at all.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I'm just going based off pure instinct.
I think that there will be more couples this season than the last 2 seasons that actually are, like, more consistent. I feel like the last few seasons, they did not give up. They were like, do. Like, they did not stay loyal to anybody. I feel like there will be more loyal couples this season. I think Minyoung and military buff guy, the tan guy, I think they'll be like a... Wait, is her name Minyoung?
Yeah, but what military guy?
Oh, wait, he's not military.
The cafe owner?
Yeah, he... Oh my god! I don't know why I said military guy, but he literally owns a cafe. I think I was thinking of jinyoung.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. They're, like, same build to me. Anyways, okay. I think there will be more couples that, like, stay and last together in this season than, like, the previous seasons. And I think that Minyoung and tan super, super buff guy will be one of them. Like, they just give that vibe. I don't know what she was talking about when she was like, yeah, I see him like a brother. That was weird.
But then she changed her mind last minute.
Yeah, but then she changed her mind again. So I see them, like, lasting. I don't know.
I think these people are gonna talk in circles and move in circles and then go right back to who they started with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the most popular girl will be Guri. Because judging off of what Gwani said,
Oh, yeah.
and obviously we don't know Korean standards, right? But by his standards, he literally said, she's a girl that's everybody's type. So even if we might be saying, oh, she's not as iconic as the rest of them, he said that, which means that any new guy that comes in, if she's not locked down, they're gonna go after her, and I feel like that's gonna give her a lot of screen time. Like, she's inevitably going to get more screen time for that.
I think potentially, sorry, you reminded me, Haesung?
Hysun?
Sorry, I keep messing up her name. She kind of gives me, funny enough, people think more Nadine. She kind of reminds me a little of Sejong.
Really?
Yes, I think she's the type where, because she's not, the gory style, how, at least what Gwani said, like, she's the stereotypical girl.
Yeah.
I think she's always gonna be, she's great from what I've seen so far, but always she gives me, like, second option. You know what I mean? Because all the guys were like, oh, she gives great first impressions, blah, blah, blah. But it seems like no one was really putting her first.
True.
Except Gwani. But again, Gwani did a switch up. And he went with a girl that's a little, like, I wouldn't say she's similar to Haesun.
Yeah, true.
You know? And I think I think that might be her fate in the show, is she's just a little too different for the guys.
Yeah.
But she's, like, just beautiful enough for them to acknowledge it, but not really stick with her. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Overall thoughts, just, like, in general, I really don't like this separate Inferno structure. Like, it's weird. I think it overcomplicates things, and I think it's a waste of time. I don't like it.
Yeah, and I think they spent way too much budget on Paradise and not enough on these, like, little military camps they have them living in.
Yeah, like, why do the rooms look so much, like, cheaper? I don't know if they're
why
more
is it a
expensive,
downgrade from...
Yeah.
At least visually.
Even, like, bro, when we first got introduced to the characters, season 1 and 2, they had this nice couch they were all sitting on. They got them sitting on barrels.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah.
So now we have a new poll going up on our community page, which is, like, which guy do you guys think from season 1, 2, or 3 had the best first impression? Which I guess first impression is kind of vague, but, like...
Just first impression, because obviously we know the guys from season 1 and 2, but if you can try and remember, like, instinctually what you first thought of them.
Yeah. And then also, like, do you guys think that any of the current couples will stay together?
But I don't know.
Let us know.
Yeah. So basically, we're gonna try to recap every 3 episodes, like, basically every week that they come out with new episodes, and we'll have a little episode with new questions.
Yeah, so come back.
Yeah.
Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.